Listen up, home service and contracting business owners. We do not need to play scared and watch social media and the news and be fear-mongered into running our businesses like an idiot in 2025 during all of these trying times. I own multiple home service brands in Arizona. One of them will do over $1 million in sales in 2025. And this is everything that I'm doing to navigate these times with the tariffs, the economy, the stock market, and everything else, and exactly why I choose to focus on the things that I can control and ignore the noise elsewhere. But before I get to it, I want to just give a little bit of background. I don't have a degree in finance. I don't know the market better than anyone who's done just basic Twitter research, read a few books and everything else. But what I do know is that I can pay attention to the people around me who have been building home service businesses for a lot longer than I have and take a page or two out of their playbook. So this video isn't from the lens of you should do this because I'm doing it. This is what I'm choosing to do in my business. I might be wrong, but this is the way that I'm choosing to navigate through all of them.
Let's have a look at that map.
So I want to start with a story. I have gone to the same home service conference for 5 straight years now. The first year and the second year, I went as a guest. The third year, I spoke on a panel. And now year 4 and 5, I speak on the stage at the conference. And so I have a really interesting look at the way that this thing is run, because every single year that I've been there, there's been someone on the main stage. And for those of you that don't know how most of these conferences work, typically half the people presenting are actually quietly selling something on the back end. That's why they go present at these things. And every single year that I've been there, I've noticed that even though the person speaking at these slots has changed, there's always been one person who is the constant doomsday fear-monger presenter. It's the end of the world! And it's interesting to be watching it as a consumer and then eventually a speaker at the conference and notice the same pattern over and over again for over half a decade. In 2020, it was, oh, the big sickness, oh, the economy's gonna crumble, no one's gonna buy anything, and guess what? People still bought stuff. In 2021, it was, oh, the lockdowns, no one's gonna buy anything, global trade screwed up, all the problems at the ports, everything's gonna get so much more expensive, you better be conservative this year and really have your stuff dialed in. 2022 was, oh, these housing prices are so expensive now, something's gonna give, these people are gonna lose their houses and default on their mortgages, you guys better prepare, whoa, whoa, whoa. 2023 was, oh, we pumped all this money into the economy, something's gotta give, we've pumped all this money in there, eventually it's gonna come down, and people still bought. And now 2024 was, you guessed it, the election year. And now 2025 is something new. It's the tariffs, it's the stock market, it's Trump's doing this, Trump's doing that, blah, 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 blah. Notice that all of these home service businesses around you have built through all of this uncertainty and fear for the last 5 years.
We can do this.
I'm not saying that these things weren't real. I'm saying what you can choose to do with that information is up to you. We have businesses in my own market. We have a pest control business that sold for probably close to 9 figures that had the majority of their rapid growth during all 4 of those terrifying years. We have a garage door company here. He's very public about it. It's Tommy Mello, A1 Garage Door. They sold, and they're valued probably at like between $200 and $300 million now, if not more. And a lot of their growth happened during that period of time and growth. So what I choose to do during these scary times in my businesses is that I ignore the noise and just focus on the fundamentals while also paying attention to the people who have done it before me at the larger scale that I'm trying to get to.
Please, I ask you to trust the process.
There was no scarier time than 2020 and 2021 to build a business. Yet, if we look back at the moments that we were so fearful about our business and our business's growth, we noticed that 2020 was actually one of the best years in US history to grow a home service business. Everybody was at home. Everybody was not taking vacations. People were doing a ton of stuff at their house. But when we were in that moment, myself and most entrepreneurs included, we were still operating from fear. And so my point is, from a more so like philosophical mindset level, if you choose to let the fear dictate the way you're operating the business and the way you're choosing to move your business forward, you're gonna always find some reason why the conditions aren't perfect. I always can find some reason why growth isn't ideal for my Christmas light business. I can always find some excuse for why sales are down in the Home Service Accelerator. I can always find some excuse, and I can always be right. Because what I choose to focus on ends up being the self-fulfilling prophecy within my business. If I navigate every single day in the mindset of like, oh, I didn't get that job because the economy is tough, that's just out of my control, then I'm gonna be right. Or I could choose to be like, okay, we didn't get that job. Why? Is it a system problem? Is it a sales problem? Is it a pricing problem? Is it a marketing problem? How can we get better in the business to get this the next time? And that to me has been the noticeable difference between guys that have consistently won at the highest level and guys that are consistently complaining. And after 10, 20 years, they look back at their business, they still have one truck, they're still in the day-to-day, and they're complaining about all of these things outside of their control. Meanwhile, other guys that are in their same trade doing the same thing that they're doing somehow manage to grow throughout the entire time.
Failure is growth.
And so ask yourself, who is right in that scenario? The garage door company that decided to be conservative and play scared and focus on all of the fear mongering that they see on the news and everything else? Or the guys that just went and built and built and focused on what they can control? They were both right. One guy played scared and his business didn't grow. One guy didn't play scared, focused on the X's and O's and moving their business forward, and their business exploded. And so for me, I'm gonna focus on that side. I'm gonna focus on growing my business the way that I wanna grow it and not focus on the things that are out of my control.
We have to focus on what we can control.
Can ad costs go up? Yes. Can customer acquisition costs go up? Yes. Can your close rate go down? Yes. Can the cost of goods, especially with these tariffs, go up? Yes. But that is just the economy. You cannot control that. I can't control that. But I can control navigating it because I know that every single one of my competitors is also navigating it. They're all going through the same thing. Every single person. I'm never going to find a moment where the universe and the government and everyone around me is telling me, this is the time to mega scale. This is the safe time to grow. That's never going to happen. You're never gonna look around you and be like, yes, this is it. This is the time that it's just risk-free and I'm just gonna go and build. That doesn't exist. That's never existed in the history of times. Even in the greatest times and booms in the economy, they don't even realize that it's that great boom. And the same thing goes with recessions. A recession, you don't even know you're in a recession until 2 quarters after.
Recession.
You just have to focus, and I'm choosing to just focus on the day-to-day, and that's what this rant's about. And so when I say focus on the day-to-day, this is what I do. I stick to the marketing basics. I do my signage strategies. I do my follow-up strategies. I have my systems dialed in. I run consistent different Facebook ad creatives. I run Google ads. I'm constantly optimizing my Google business page. I'm constantly forcing reviews. I'm constantly doing outreach to commercial opportunities. I'm constantly nurturing my current customers. Because also, it is extremely valuable to note, if you are a business that sells to high net worth people who are cash heavy, like all of my brands, guess who doesn't care if the stock market goes down by 10% or 15%? Someone who has 8, 9 figures set aside in cash that doesn't have to worry about the cycles because their house is paid off cash. They're getting a 6% guaranteed return on their cash for not doing anything, and they're not playing the game anymore. So when it comes to building your business, whether you're a little bit newer, that's a huge thing to remember too, is that rich people in the current state of the economy in the United States, now, I'm not gonna say this is morally right or ethically right, this is just the reality of it. The richest people don't get hurt during the recessions like the middle class and lower class do anymore. So they're gonna keep buying. So the one thing you might wanna pivot is find a way to get in and build your brand stronger in the higher net worth neighborhoods, because they're not gonna feel economic impacts, inflation, the tariffs, the stock market going down 10% as much as the middle and lower class families are. That's really unfortunate and sad, but that's the reality of the game, and I don't have the power to change it myself. If you want to get more information on how to join the Accelerator program, I'll put a link to book a call with us below, and we're happy to chat with you about your business, see if it makes sense, and if it does, we'll invite you in and we can go from there. And if you want more free, applicable, no BS content like this, feel free to subscribe to this YouTube channel, and you can also find me on Instagram at Steve-Hunsaker. I post a reel or two a day there that's just quick hitting, implementable steps that you can do in your business that have worked for me that might also help you.